owner and founder of AssetLab Marketing, about making that business marketing pivot. Jeff is one of our Renton Chamber members, and Kent as well, and has been instrumental point of contact for our businesses in our area as they make this transition to what, at minimum, is our temporary new norm. And the silver lining is maybe providing a new and innovative way for business to look into the future with their marketing techniques and practices. So without further ado today, I again thank you for being here, and I would like to introduce Renata Emerson, one of my most favorite people in the world from Seattle Southside. We'll go over some housekeeping for our guests today.
Thank you, Diane. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for being here. And so if you have been a part of a webinar on Zoom before, then you already know this stuff. But for those of us who are still fresh and learning these systems, I just wanted to go over a few quick things. First of all, everybody in the audience is muted right now, and it will stay that way through the duration of the webinar. We'll be utilizing the chat and the Q&A features within the webinar system to be able to ask questions and respond behind the scenes while the presentation is going. So in order to find that, go ahead and bring your cursor down to the bottom of your screen, and you'll see a menu where you can click participants. And that'll bring up the list of who's in, who's available with us. The next one is Q&A, and that's where you type in your questions. And so those will stay in queue. I will be monitoring those Q&A questions, and Jeff will be providing time throughout the presentation to respond to some in real time. But for the most part, there will be a significant portion of time to answer those Q&A questions. So you're welcome to pop those in there, and I will be addressing those as we are able. And then you'll also see at the bottom menu, there's the chat icon, and that is where you can say more general things if you feel, share things. You can also put questions in there too, but it's a little bit harder to track in the chat than it is in the Q&A portion. So that's that. As far as view, right now you should be seeing the three of us at the top of your screen, and my face should be large on your screen. That is the gallery view. If you are seeing equal-sized squares, you're currently in speaker view. So bring your cursor up to the top right of your screen and click on the view there, and it should say gallery view, and that will just best enable you to see the presentations and the visual slides that we want you guys to make sure that you can see. And last but not least, we are streaming on Facebook Live right now. And so if you're watching us on Facebook Live, thank you for joining us. You will not be able to participate in the live Q&A, but there is still time to register. Just find the event listing, click the link and register, and you can join us live here within the webinar and be able to participate in the Q&A and in the chat. I believe that is all for now. And so with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Diane.
Thank you very much, Renata. Jeff, I'm just going to segue and let you do your stuff today. So without further ado, Jeff Kelly from AssetLab Marketing, who will be speaking to us today on the essential pivoting of your marketing for your business.
Thank you, Diane and Renata. We are in probably the most unique time I've experienced in my lifetime. I won't tell you when I was born because that would, of course, date how long we have to consider. But this is a fascinating time in business and in marketing, and it's a challenging time for so many people personally. My take as somebody who is a marketing guru, I work with businesses, we do a lot of B2B. My take right now is anything that my team and I can do to give to all of you that might help your business stay open or might help you keep on just one more employee during this very difficult business environment, that is success. And so that's why we're here. That's why we're gathered together. That's why there's this great webinar series going on a variety of topics. So as we're going, if you see value in this, there's some resources for you here at the very end that I will share. If we're going through and I'm starting to talk about something that you think is important to someone else, please make sure to take time, toss the registration link over to other people you know who you think we can value out of this. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to pour into you. I don't know each of you personally. I don't know exactly what your business is, But if there's value here and you think it's worth other people that aren't here right now hearing it, make sure you push that message out. So what I'm going to talk about today is how we can adjust our marketing for our businesses so that we take advantage of the current situation as much as possible, and so that we're ready for the thawing of business on the other side of stay-at-home orders all throughout the country and countries all around the world who are in that same situation. Let me go ahead and share my presentation with you, and we will start moseying through this. I want to start you with a couple quotes because context is always fantastic. It helps us calm down if we're freaked out. So 2 quotes from Warren's today. The first quote is from Warren Bennis. In business, change is vital. And we're in one of those change periods right now. There's no doubt about it. If nothing else, you're seeing an impact to your people, your team, and you're seeing an impact to sales. Another one that I want to share is from Warren Buffett: to be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. And the reason I put these 2 here is because I think they represent this time very well in business. We, as people in business, as people involved in marketing and selling, we have to change, and we have to change now. The businesses that we operate, the products and services we provide, they may not be in demand now, and may not be in demand on the other side of this. And this is a time for self, and this is a time to go all in, and not a time to relax if you're in
Jeff,
marketing.
I'm going to pause you for just a minute. We're having some audio difficulties on your connection there. It's sounding pretty choppy. I'm not sure we can adjust anything.
Just a minute. Let me see what I can figure out.
Thank you. I know we did some tests and it was perfect during the tests.
It's because all these wonderful people are here now. I'm going to shrink that presentation and we'll try this again.
That already sounds better. And then otherwise, I might just have you slow down a little bit so that we can make sure we're catching everything.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, here's a little different view. If I start getting choppy, let me know. So this is a time in marketing where we have to adjust, and we have an opportunity because we need to change. We're going to have to change. Our messaging, if nothing else, will need to change. But there's also some unique circumstances right now, which is that there's a lot less competition in business. There's going to be lower prices for purchasing marketing, for purchasing advertising, for looking ahead. And for those businesses that plan ahead and can take advantage of changing now for what they need in the future, there's going to be some significant benefits, not just because you're going to be ahead as the economy starts to thaw, but because you might take the opportunity to change the products and services you offer, or change how you deliver those products and services. How are we doing, Renata?
It's choppy again. So what if I try and share the visuals?
That'd be great.
Okay,
Let's try that.
so let's do that switch. Thanks for being patient and flexible with us, guys. And we're going here. How's that? Is this where we're at?
Yep.
Okay, just let me know when you want to switch.
Perfect. So here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about retention marketing. And this is really all about keeping your best customers and making sure you don't lose those customers. We're going to talk about selling new things. This is really about change and adjusting what you have now so that we can make the most of what you offer. We're going to talk about shifting towards online marketing. People right now are at home on their phones and on their computers, and the internet is stressed out because everybody is home. And so if you don't have your A game in your online marketing assets, we're going to talk a little bit about that. To really empower that online presence that you have, you'll get a big benefit if you can also sell and deliver your services and products online. We'll spend some time there. Networking will be coming back in a big way. Network marketing, not in the negative sense, in the business networking sense. Networking is going to come back as the economy starts to warm up and we're in a completely new economic situation. So we'll talk about how to be in position there. Finding ways to collaborate with other businesses will be another great way to open up your marketing and your sales. I'll give you some tips on that. And finally, we're going to talk about awareness opportunities. Whenever we get into an environment like this where change is happening really quickly, it's a great time as a business to try to jump into awareness marketing and see if there's specific opportunities that you have there. One point I want to make before we roll forward. I'm sure you've all seen this in your daily lives and in your daily consumption of marketing. This is not a time to be really stiff on sales messages. This is a time to pull those sales messages back and focus on value and education and entertainment. And so throughout this entire presentation, please keep that lens on as you're thinking about your own business and what this means for your business, because right now, here in Washington, in the next 8 weeks across the country until stay-at-home orders go away, this is not the time to be pushing a hard sales message. We want to be pushing messages about value and education. And if you have entertaining content, this is the time to be pushing that out there because people are seeking that. Go ahead and move on. So we're going to talk about retention first. Whenever times get difficult, it's important to make sure that your customers that you have are happy with what they're getting, that you are thinking about that strategically, that you're taking action specifically on retaining people and understanding what your customers are experiencing and what they need from you. It's much easier to retain the customers you have. These might be repeat customers, they might be monthly service package customers. It's far easier to retain them than it is to have to spend the marketing treasure and time to get a new client or customer. So this is the time to create a marketing plan specifically to retain your customers. You might work on increasing their benefits as a repeat or loyal customer. You might give them free service. You might come out with some sort of new education package on how to use a product service that you just shop them for free. There's a lot you can do on the marketing planning side to increase the value that they're getting. You can hold on to that loyalty. It's also a great time to start voice of the customer programs. If you're not really familiar with this kind of marketing, this is really about listening to your customers, getting feedback, doing it in a consistent, prescribed, strategic way. This is the time to understand if your customers like the value that they're getting, and it will be for many years to come now, because again, we want to keep those customers that you have earned. This is also a great time.
One more time. I'm so sorry. We've just got more of that choppiness happening. Not sure. I'm going to stop the Facebook sharing and see if that makes a difference. Okay, it was going great for a while.
Renata, I could try dialing in too, if there's a dial-in for it.
There is a dial-in. I will get that to you momentarily. Let's see. I'm going to have you, whenever we do take a pause and a break, it does seem to clear up. So while I'm pulling that up, I'm going to have you continue, and then I'll send you the number here in the chat. But yeah, please do continue.
So on customer service, it's important to consider two types of customers specifically. First is your high value customer, someone that is really important for you to retain because they're a repeat customer or they're a large dollar customer. Another is the customer that calls and needs flexibility on payment, because we're in a time right now where many businesses will struggle with cash flow. And there's a third type of customer, which is the customer who calls to end service or to return a product. And having a plan ahead of time, all three of these customer types will help whoever is on customer service. It might be you might have a team, you might have a call center. I mean, there's lots of different possibilities here. Whoever is handling customer service for you, make sure that they know precisely how you want to handle each of these situations. Let's head to the next slide. Once you've got your retention plan set up and your retention marketing moving in the right direction, it's time to talk. It's time to think about what it is you're selling. There's clearly going to be a difference right now in the kinds of services and products that people want right now from you. You know, with AssetLab marketing, you can help lots and lots of businesses message their customers so that customers know that the restaurant is open for takeout, for example, or the CPA firm is continuing to operate remotely, or that a business in a downtown area has closed for a period of time. So we provide all types of marketing services. Those services right now are very in demand. And so those are the things we're focusing on. We're also seeing that there is new demand for different flavors and packages of marketing service. And so we're taking the time to try to make that pivot for us so that we figure out what is it that we do that people want now? What opportunities do we see as we start coming into the next new economic situation here in the next few months so that we can get ready for that now? This is really important to the survival of your business. And I'm going to work on dialing in here for a second.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff.
So if you have questions, please take a minute and drop them in so far, and I'll get dialed in and hope.
I don't see any questions at the moment. Again, thank you everybody for joining us today. We are just smoothing out some technical difficulties and appreciate your patience. Let me know when you're in, Jeff.
I just joined.
And I might need to do some
4466.
finagling. What's that?
4466.
Okay, let's see. It shows me allow to talk. 4466, you are in. You might need to mute your computer. Do you want to say something
Okay.
for me? There we
Here
go.
we go.
Yay.
So once we take the time to figure out what the new things are that we need to offer people now or sell, it's time to move on to the next step, which is to get that to people who are spending their time online right now. So let's flip to that next slide. The easiest way to reach people right now is through online marketing. This is your website, social media, business directory listings, live streams, webinars, whatever you do online for your business. Those are the channels that are going to be able to really let you reach your existing customers and let new people find you. Restaurants right now are having a lot of success on social media, particularly on Facebook. So by sharing their restaurant is open for takeout or is available for pickup orders of cold food, kind of depending on what they're doing, one of their most successful channels is Facebook. They also need to have their other online channels all lined up and saying exactly the same thing and giving people the guidance they need on how to engage with their business. There's a lot of mistrust right now for business information. You can see that if you type your business name into Google. Your Google My Business listing comes up, and there's a little sign there that says, business information may be different due to COVID, or business hours may not be correct. So what we're trying to do with online marketing is a few different things. Number one, we're trying to let people trust the information they find about your business. And number two, we're trying to then adjust what you're providing on social media, on your website, in your email marketing, so that you're focusing on the services you've got that can provide value to clients and customers now. Of course, you'll pivot that forward as we get a little closer, but now is the time to really try new things online for your business. Perhaps you don't or have not done an email newsletter before. Now is a great time to start. Put your first one out here in the next couple of weeks. Maybe you have social media accounts, but you haven't been very consistent as a business with engaging people and putting out interesting content. Now is the time to try to make that shift. Maybe you've never delivered anything with a video conference or a webinar or on a live stream. Maybe you do fitness, maybe you're a gym, and so you've got clients who can't come to your gym right now. Now is the time to try streaming classes. Whatever it is, now is the time to experiment with online marketing and to push in that area and make sure that you're spending extra time in that space, because that's how most people are going to experience your business right now. For the next 8 weeks, as I mentioned, and this 8 weeks, of course, can adjust, but for the time being, the messaging that you need to be sharing is around value, education, and entertainment. This is not the time to be doing hard sells. Now, if you sell video conferencing, or if you're a food distributor, or if you provide computer hardware, this could be a great time to be doing a hard sell. But that is a very small portion of our economy. And so in general, the guidance is, this is not a time to hard sell, because people don't have the money, businesses don't have the money, people are being laid off. This is just not the time for that. So as you're adjusting and trying things online, you need to shift to this value-oriented space. Once stay-at-home orders start to lift, whatever your geographic area is, as those start to lift from that area, you can get back into those sales messages. But for a time, they're going to be seen as irritating, and you've probably already felt that in your heart when you've opened some emails or you've seen some things online, and somebody's talking about a great 2-for-1 order or offer, to move up to the next level of subscription or something. You felt that. Now is not the time to be pushing that kind of message. Let's head on to the next slide. So if you can bring people to your online presence and you can engage them there, you're going to help your business out if you can also sell there. Whenever somebody needs to make a context change in the sales process as they're flowing in from marketing to sales, you're going to lose some people. And so if you have been, if you're a restaurant and you've had dining room service and now you're providing takeout, you've only ever had a phone number or online reservation form, now is the time to evaluate adding e-commerce to your website. You can do it in a very simple way. You don't have to go big and have a grand, amazing restaurant website. But if you start to allow people to actually engage with you online the whole way, you're going to see an easier experience for customers coming through your sales funnel, and more and more of them are going to get to completion. If you are a gym and you're trying to figure out how to get anybody or somebody to sign up for a subscription to your gym when your gym is closed, you're going to have to do new things online. You're going to have to start providing service online, and you should probably allow people to purchase that membership or subscription online. So whatever your business is, thinking about how to let someone stay in the online space all the way through your funnel, all the way through purchase, all the way through service delivery or product delivery is going to be very helpful. One thing that we expect to happen is that as stay-at-home orders lift, people will still be inclined to stay home for a while. This is another reason why being able to deliver your products and services online is going to be important, because we aren't going back to what would be considered normal. It's going to be something new and different. And we know people are going to be spending more time online experiencing your business. So you want to make that easy for them. This would be a great place if you're thinking about your particular business and what specifically you do. This would be a great time to be thinking about questions like, Jeff, I'm a carpet business. What do I do to get ready for it coming back when people can come into my business? Or what could I do to get ready for ordering online? As we talk through these next couple slides, we're going to move away from this online space a little bit. So think about your questions here now and feel free to drop them in there. We'll come back around to them. Let's go to number 8. So we're going to leave the online world for a little bit, and we're going to talk about some other marketing things that you should be considering as a leadership team for your business. So we're starting to think further ahead now. Online is really about the next, hopefully, only few months. As we're allowed to go back out and meet people in person and go to businesses in person and all these things, there's some types of marketing that are going to be more effective. Business networking is one of them. Referrals become more and more important when money is scarce as a consumer or as a business. And so if someone comes to me and I've had a great experience with an accounting firm or a CPA, and they're looking for that, they're going to be much more inclined to go with someone they know who has a recommendation than they are to just go to the internet and do a search for the service or business type they're looking for and just kind of go with what comes up. So networking is going to become more important again. It may be, there's kind of two benefits you get from networking. One is the resources of your network, and one is the sales potential of networking. So we want to move down both those paths. There's lots of things you can consider doing. You can consider Chamber of Commerce memberships. You can consider business networking groups such as BNI or Biz2Biz. There's downtown associations. There's lots of possibilities. What's right for your business is something you will be able to figure out. Every business is different, and the associations or networking opportunities are different. The scale that you operate on is different. But it's time to come back to networking and think about how you're going to start to build that aspect of your marketing plan. One related aspect here is online reputation. If the online reputation of your business could use a lift, it's time to start working on that, because it's going to help you differentiate yourself from competitors. So what you might do during this time is you might be reaching out to loyal customers as part of your loyalty marketing program. If they really are pleased with you and what you've been doing, this might be a good time to ask them for a review. I recommend that whenever businesses start asking for reviews, they make sure that they're listening, because customer service issues or satisfaction issues will present themselves in those reviews. One of the hardest things to do in marketing, in online marketing in particular, is to help a business owner improve their online reputation when they don't want to improve their customer experience. So if you're going to start asking if you actually want to improve your online reputation, you also need to be committed to improving your customer experience. Let's move on to collaboration. Next slide. A lot like networking, business collaborations are going to become valuable. These are situations where, let's say, we have somebody who does we have two businesses downtown, and they both provide classes of some type. Here in Renton, we have River Valley Cheese, for example. We also have Ascendance and some other businesses that provide in-person or online classes. There's a great opportunity for them to join forces and provide, for example, 3 classes, one from each business at a discounted price, where somebody purchases from one single location. And then they're getting service from multiple businesses. This is a way where businesses can help collaborate so that their customers get more value. And as a business who may be joining into a collaboration like that, I'm getting access to customers from my peers. So it's a way to both increase your own sales and the satisfaction of your own customers, but also potentially get access to customers of other businesses that are like yours or serving the same population. You might do this with combined offers, like I mentioned, like being able to purchase for one price service from multiple businesses. You might offer some sort of, if it's a product situation, there might be like if you purchase one product, a compatible product from another business might come along with it. So you might package across businesses instead of just within what your own business creates and ships. The kinds of ways you can work this behind the scenes is with referral agreements, affiliate relationships, There's lots of different ways you can structure this. But the key takeaway, the key action from this is to think about what businesses are selling things to your same types of customers. If it's the same demographic of customer, the same need or demand they have, and they're providing something that is a value add to yours, or that is, I mean, it can be completely different, but they're serving the exact same customer, then there's an opportunity for a collaboration there. The way you go down this path is you write a list of potential collaborations, and you start calling those businesses and asking if they're interested in even collaborating. If you're a smaller business and you're all in in a downtown area or in the same city, you can walk in and you can start to build a relationship and ask about the possibility of doing a collaboration. Let's talk about awareness. So we're going to come back. So we've kind of talked about online and what we need to do now. We then kind of pushed out and talked about what's coming toward us, and now we're going to pull back. This is a really good opportunity to create awareness for your business. And when I say this is a good opportunity, what I mean is the current economic environment is a great opportunity. There are food banks that need sponsors and volunteers. There are businesses that need guidance or assistance. There are customers who are in difficult positions. I know in the online marketing space, we use a lot of online services to deliver what we do. And I received an email a couple of days ago from one of our large providers saying, for the next month, we're taking this community service action, and we're not going to bill you for a month of service, and we're not billing any of our customers for 1 month of service. And so that you don't get stuck on you're getting a free month of service. The other thing they were doing is they were donating some incredible amount of money to a food bank system in their local metro area. And so they are taking an awareness opportunity, and they're also taking a value opportunity in their marketing, and they push that out at the same time. And so now they can earn media coverage, they can get goodwill from their customers, and they're taking this as an opportunity to continue their business. There's a loyalty play in there. Right now, we've kind of talked about some of these concepts, and that's an example of all these things coming together into one push. Another thing we did in the marketing space, for example, is right when things started to get real crazy here in Washington a few weeks ago, we started creating a ton of content about what various industries can do to continue marketing and to continue trying to get sales, what restaurants can do to pivot to takeout. And we started pushing out lots and lots of content like that to try to pour into our peers and the businesses we serve, because this wasn't a time to take, this was a time to give. That's an awareness opportunity. So if you haven't taken some time to figure out what you can do right now as a business to create awareness opportunities for your business, this is a great thing to just sit down and write down 10 ideas and figure out which one you want to start moving on. There's lots and lots of needs. It might be something that you can provide that you're already providing. It might be something that you could help with your money if you have the cash flow and capital to do that. It might be something that you can get your team engaged in and supporting. There's lots of possibilities. The value of awareness marketing when you do it well is that not only is it a message that you can give to your existing customers and clients, but it's a message you can give to your city or community wherever you're causing some positivity and some good. And that also lets you generate earned media and goodwill in that community or of those potential customers. Okay, so we've hit a lot of topics now, and we've hit a lot of very different topics in the marketing space. So what I want to show you is that the key to this now is to turn it into action. So you'll see the quote here on the right. Now is the time to self-assess and make adjustments. So we've got a questionnaire. I put together a questionnaire that goes with this. If you are the type of person who could use a simple checklist that you could roll through to do a self-assessment, there's a link here coming up you can follow to go grab that. And Renata, if you have it on your screen there, you could pop it up to show people what it looks like. No hurry. But the key to this now is, if you want to really get value out of this presentation, is to now ask questions about your business and about current market and marketing, and also to self-assess and choose actions out of this. If you just watch the video conference, you think, oh, wow, that was great. Okay, great, Jeff. Yeah, good stuff. And you walk away and you don't do anything about it, then it will have been a waste of an opportunity there. So if you come to, and there's a link a little further on, if you come to assetlab.us/smart, you'll be able to download this self-assessment list. There's also the slides that I've presented. They're right there. If you want to get time to talk with me about whatever you've got going on or whatever challenge you're facing, you can fill in a form right there. But I really, really encourage you to come over to assetlab.us/smart and grab at least this self-assessment checklist. It goes through each of the areas we talked about today and gives you, check boxes that you can consider and think about for your specific business. It'll apply no matter what you're large or small. It'll apply no matter if you're a products business or a services business. And what I've tried to do here is I've tried to make it so that the questions and items that are in that list are things that you could think about to cause action. Right? Because again, now is the time to go in and push hard and try to take your business to a new place.
And Jeff,
And honestly, try to survive 8 weeks.
I will also share the documents after the fact as well to all of the attendees, so so we can make sure that the resources are available to everyone.
Perfect. Yeah. So I want to talk about the two organizations involved in putting the presentation together and answering your questions and all of that. Renton Chamber of Commerce is focused on the Renton area, and they are an organization whose mission is to improve the economic vitality of the greater Renton area. It's not specific to members, you'll notice. This is a time when Renton and all of our cities and communities are going to need to rebuild. And if you don't know Diane, who was on here at the very beginning doing the introduction, she has been a hard woman to get a hold of for the last few weeks because she has been very busy working to make this mission happen. There have been a lot of things that come out of the chamber that have helped create awareness for businesses that are open and serving their customers during this time. And those are some, just an example of what Renton Chamber is doing for its members and the area. So I highly encourage you to go check out Renton Chamber as an opportunity for networking and resources for your business if you are in this area. We talked about that business networking and how important it will be. And then pop to that next slide. This is a little bit about AssetLab marketing and what we do. We're located in Renton. We're a global team, so we're used to working remotely. We help businesses make the most of whatever their marketing goal or their business goals are, help them achieve those. They might have challenges that they're trying to overcome or competition. We work through those things, and our area of specialty is really online marketing. So if you've got the presentation, that's step one, grab the presentation. Step 1A is grab that self-assessment. That might be even more valuable. And take the time to turn this whole experience into action. So please, please, please ask questions.
And with that, I haven't seen any questions come in the Q&A, but I wanted to just echo what Jeff was saying with the chambers. Really, there's been a lot of collaboration, and Jeff, you talked about this. There's been a lot of collaboration among just the local communities and amongst the chambers, and so that's even a part of why we're here today. Seattle Southside Chamber partnering with Renton Chamber. So just to echo that same sentiment, we are here for you in the greater Seattle area, wherever we're Chambers Without Borders. Is really what I want to say. So you can reach out to Diane, a fantastic resource. You can reach out to us and Andrea, our chamber president, another fantastic resource and contact. And Diane, I do want to spend a little time seeing if questions come in. Let's see, I have one. This person says, I'm a business broker with many businesses who are trying to sell a business, and some of those tools would be valuable. Thank you for compiling the assessment in response to the situation so quickly, and this is great advice. So less of a question and just more of a thank you and appreciation for the resources. So thank you, Jeff.
And as a business broker, you have a really interesting challenge right now, bringing in value for the clients as much as you can. I know any business with capital, now is the time to be looking to make moves in their industry, right? And so there is a demand, but there's also a challenge in that, someone who has started a business that believes there's a certain amount of value in it and you've got a very interesting spot to be in right now.
And so, Diane, did you want to hop on and add anything? We'll let a few more questions come in.
I think thank you to Renata and thank you to Jeff. I think an example, a perfect example of that flexibility. Someone told me yesterday, the best ability is flexibility. And the two of you showed great flexibility in transitioning and pivoting in the approach today. With the static and interference on the line. I was in a conference this morning and same interference. So I think everybody is starting to learn about Zoom and learning new ways to adapt to the situation. But you guys demonstrated that stop and pivot and make it work. And so thanks to you guys for being so flexible in your approach today.
Thank you. Well, Jeff, you're muted.
If any of you would like guidance based on your business and you just want to go into Q&A and say, I'm a restaurant, what should I be doing? Or I'm a closed downtown business right now, what should I be doing? Or I'm in home services. Feel free to just drop in your type of business and I'll be happy to give you thoughts what's working or not working right now in marketing for your industry.
Fantastic. All right, so I think we had the contact info for you guys on the screen. I will, again, as I mentioned, be sending all this via follow-up, and you'll have our chamber contact information as well. We'll be sending the recording of today's webinar out once it's rendered and available. And then lastly, I just want to keep you guys posted about this series, this Smart Webinar series that we are doing every Tuesday and Friday. And so our next webinar will be on Tuesday, April 7th. We're going to be covering the CARES Act, breaking down the CARES Act with a representative from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And so that will be Tuesday, April 7th at 11 a.m. You can go to Seattle Southside Chamber events page online or on Facebook, Seattle Southside Chamber, See South Chamber on Facebook, and see information about those and where you can register there. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff has put his contact information down in the chat, so you've got that down there as well. Just allow one more minute for any other questions or comments. Diane, did you have more to add?
I want to say thank you, and it's a huge thank you to Jeff for your time and preparation and the presentation today, and all that you're giving to the community. Jeff has stepped up in our community, and he's a member of Kent as well, to really encourage the businesses to think outside the box, and that's the messaging that I'd say to everybody that's attending today. There's going to be ways, and think about those ways that are new to you, and Jeff, you do a great job in taking business owners up to that 50,000 foot level to consider different approaches as we transition. Be receptive to new ideas and suggestions that come in. Thank you to Zenobia of Kent and Andrea of Seattle Southside and all of the supportive staff who make this happen. Thank you to Renata for keeping us on track and on point today. And even more so, thank you to the businesses who are joining us today for your patience in presentation, but also to continue to look with hope toward the future, look for the positives, and being willing to transition, to stabilize, to survive, to recover and thrive. And most importantly, you're willing to come together today as one, like Renata said, Chambers Without Borders. We're one community in one region, and we will be stronger together, and we will see brighter days ahead. So be sure to join in for that next webinar series on the 7th. It should be a good one, explaining more details on the CARES Act with Chris Eiler from the U.S. Chamber. So thank you, Seattle Southside, for hosting the various webinars.